there. So today on ClassPad.net, we're going to just kind of talk about how do you control and manage the paper and share the papers that you create, the documents, right? So if you log into ClassPad.net and just start creating, so I'm going to just click this to kind of show you what that does. This brings you to the site and you can start playing. You can go in and start. Here's our little warning, of course, and start exploring. I can do some calculations and some graphs, whatever it is I want to do. So let's just do a real quick geometry thing, right? And let's say I wanted to save this. Well, if I'm just working and playing and scratching around without signing in, what I'm creating can't be saved. I can't change the title. I can't do anything. So in order to save anything that you do have to have a login. And so if you haven't created that before, you want to create that. So when you hit login and you haven't created, you can create a new account. We have a how-to on that. But if you do have a login, then you would sign in, and I do have a login, so I'm going to bring up my login. So I've logged in, and so notice the difference now. I have this new paper here because I'm not just playing around. I actually am creating many documents, and I have a place where I can change the title. So let's change the title of this paper. So I'm going to, let's call it my geometry circle. Oops. Right, so I've given it a title. So you can only give papers titles if you have an account. I can go over here then before I start doing anything, and I can look at some difference. I can change the math settings on the paper. I can provide a description. So this is a circle. I'm just making some silly things here, but okay. So I've changed it. I can add some tags to that because everything that you do in ClassPad.net is automatically saved to the cloud, and then you can, so if you want to share it with others, you want others to find it, if you make it public, you can put tags on here. So I can add in the fact that this is geometry. I could make this be circle, you know, whatever tags you want, math, whatever. So I've got some tags in there, and there we go. I want to hit OK. So I've got some tags. So all of this is only able if you've got, you have an account. So paper language, it defaults English. You can change it to several different languages. We're not going to do that. But one of the things you can do is choose to share it. How are you going to share it? So it automatically defaults to being a private paper. So the papers that you create, anytime you do them, they're being saved on your account. They're in the cloud. They're there. They're there for you to refer back to go to. So you can create several different ones. Algebra activities, geometry, whatever you're doing with your students. You can also choose to share them with a URL, and if you do that, you can require that whoever sees it has to have a password that it goes with the URL. If you're choosing to use it as a homework, so students get it and they send it to you, they have a URL, and you'll notice that down here, here's the URL, and you're going to copy it, paste it, they can send it to you, and you're going to apply. So that's one way to do it. I can also choose to publicly share it, and if I choose to publicly share it, that means, again, it has a URL, but it also means that whoever is in ClassPad.net, logged in as a user, can see all private, publicly shared documents. So I'm going to say this is a public one, right? So we're going to say it's okay. So I've kind of set all this up. I haven't done anything yet, so let's just do something real quick on my paper. So I said it was going to be geometry, so I'm going to click the geometry icon, and I said it was a circle, so let's make a circle. That's a really bad circle, but there we go. It makes a circle for me. I don't know. Let's maybe measure. Let's go to measurement. Let's click this circle. Let's measure the circumference, and you'll notice there's my circumference. I can kind of put it a little bit closer. Okay, so I haven't done much. We're just going to do something really simple. So now I'm ready to maybe start something new. So I'm going to hit new paper, and this paper seems to disappear. But over here, if you look, there's this kind of icon that it's got this paper. It's my paper icon. If I click this now shows me all the papers that I've worked on. So you'll see that I have lots of papers. Some of them are untitled. It means I did something I didn't do much to it. I just clicked on, right? So one of the things when you're in this area is you can change it. So if you again, go to the three dots over to the right hand side. I can change the language, but we really want to work with edit. And here's where I can delete papers I don't want. So I'm going to go and just click off all the ones I don't want, because they're kind of silly. They have no title. There's nothing on them. So let's just get rid of some of my untitled ones that are not happening too often. So I've almost got all of them out. Boy, I really have been working on these. So you can also, so we're done with editing. So let's get off edit. I can, over here, if you look, I can choose how I sort my papers. So I can sort them by color. You could change the color of each one, and maybe you want all your algebra green, all your geometry blue, so you could do that. I didn't do that yet. You can sort by title, so it's going to alphabetically list them. You can choose favorites, so it's going to sort by favorites. You can do ascending, descending by the title. So let's click title, and it's going to resort mine by title, okay? And it's doing it by, I think, descending. Is that what yes, it's doing descending, so I could switch it to ascending. And so now it's doing it ascending types of title. So you can do a lot of different sorting. So I can share my papers. So the only one that I've actually shared publicly was the one that we did together. So this is showing me of all my papers. Let's go back. Of all my papers, this is the only one that I've shared with anyone else, and I shared it publicly. That's what this little icon here means, right? I shared it publicly. Now, if you click down here, it says public papers. So this is other papers that others have shared publicly. So if I click that, I'm going to see all the public papers that are out in the world right now. Now, we did just start, right? We just launched this on Friday, so there's not a lot of shared, but we do have some people who have been sharing. So it looks like somebody's been doing some circle things, some things with graphs, some things with parabolas. So this is exciting. People are starting to share things and kind of explore the exciting things that are happening there. So this is where you can see, and eventually you're going to be able to sort them and look and search that type of thing for specific things. You can search here for specific content area, so it's a keyword. So if people have been putting in those tags, is where you can find it. And then if you have any papers, so let's say I really love something here, I can click it as a favorite, and now if I go to my favorites, there's that activity. So you can search for activities once people start really using this program. Again, we just started this, so there's not that many things out there yet, but you can click things that are your favorite. You can search by topic area, and you can save things in your own area to look at later and use later. So everything that is made public becomes public domain, and we can all kind of use it and share it. So that's a brief overview of how to kind of manage your papers, how to decide whether you're going to share, how you're going to share, how to sort, how to get rid of some papers that maybe you don't want. So be sure to stay tuned for more how-tos. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we're going to be constantly updating. And be sure to like and follow us on social media. Thanks.